friends, thank you for being here. I'm bringing you kind of an old-fashioned what's new at the drugstore type video. We're going to be trying it all on. I've got a lot of Physicians formula here. Just some various things I've been playing with and I'm like, all right, already. Today's the day I'm going to put it on camera. What better day than the day that begins when you're laying in bed and the thing that wakes you up for the day is a glorious calf cramp just going bang, like hello. It literally happened like 10 seconds before the 5 a.m. alarm went off. I'm like, oh my gosh. Anybody else call those Charlie horses? I mean, say what you want about them, but it sure as heck woke me up. We're gonna get started. My skin is all prepped with skincare. I don't have a primer to use today. We're gonna jump right into the foundation. Actually, what I guess I technically used as primer is that Found cooling stick from the Found Beauty video. I have put that back in this little guy, back in this, it's right there. It's my makeup fridge. Am I set up to have one of those days or what? Anyway, I stuck it in there so it's extra cooling and it is just, you know, it takes away all your problems. I want to rub it down there on my calf where I had the cramp. So that's what I need. Okay, we're going to be using some organic wear stuff. This I just found at Walmart. There was a lot of stuff in the display. And this is the started out product here. This is the foundation. Now, organic wear has been in Physicians Formula's line for a while, but they're really making something of it now. And this is the Silk Foundation Elixir. It says it has jojoba oil. That's a great word. It's ultra nourishing, ultra fluid, weightless organic foundation elixir. Delivers a silky second skin airbrushed dewy finish. You gotta shake the bottle, it says, because it is super thin. And what, within the last month I've done a video on lightweight foundations and this is falling right into that kind of category and I have it in the shade light. Let's just get started with the application and I'll kind of explain the qualities of this as it goes. But you know, very, very liquidy, as you can see, that dropper style. And I'm gonna get some of this on here, get some over here, over here, over here. I would call this a light to medium coverage foundation for sure. And the tone of it is borderline, you know, kind of light for me actually. I think I could have gone with the light medium. It's funny how every brand is different because I bought the Found foundation in light medium and it was a little too dark. And here light is a little too light. But I'm just blending this in with my little Real Techniques Expert face brush. I feel like it has a real BB creamish quality as far as its coverage goes. Has anybody been watching this drop just slowly like... How long is it going to take for that to hit her nose? It's just ultra lightweight and I've blended it in with a few different methods. Like I've used a sponge and I felt like that took away almost all of its coverage. So a dense brush does a little better. But I'd say we're definitely talking light or light to medium coverage. And what's interesting is that it has this lightweight, really watery kind of consistency, but yet it does deliver a good amount of moisture to the skin. And that was one of the claims, you know, that it's going to be ultra nourishing and a dewy finish. You can definitely feel it and you can also see it just to the naked eye that my skin has kind of a dewiness to it right now. It makes me think of the Estee Lauder Water Fresh Double Wear because they seem to be the exact same consistency, only that one tends to offer a little more coverage. This is a little less coverage and a little more moisture. On the drugstore end, like it's the exact same consistency as the Catrice HD liquid coverage, but that really covers, you know, that is a matte foundation with some coverage. This is like the dewy, lighter coverage alternative to that, you know, so just know what it's like going in. It does seem to do some gentle evening out of my skin. Here's an issue I have with this though. It does not really wear that well on me. And I don't know if that's because we're starting from such a lightweight coverage place to begin with that it just didn't end up taking much for it to kind of fade away throughout the day, or if I haven't been setting it enough or what, but it really seems kind of non-existent and doesn't really hardly come off too much on a makeup wipe. Like I really look and see like how much makeup is really coming off. It's questionable there. I'm just throwing that out. I think the weightless nature of it is kind of cool, and yet the fact that it provides moisture, kind of a neat yet unusual balance there, but it's just not like gonna be my hardcore stay all day, stay looking the way it started by day's end. It's not necessarily that kind of foundation for me anyway. Here's a concealer concealer. Now, I just found this yesterday, but I swear I've actually used this for years. Does anybody remember when Almay had like Age Essentials or something, and they had a great stick concealer that looked exactly like this, and now they're calling it Skin Perfecting Comfort Concealer, and I always wore it in light medium, so I got it in light medium again. But I was really looking at Almay's line for some reason the other day as I was passing through, and I'm like, that looks like it's the very same size and shape, like not a straight up flat cut across bullet, but kind of like formed in at the top. I don't know, y'all. I really liked that concealer that they used to have though. I thought it was really smooth as far as stick concealers go, and I thought I want to try this again and see how similar it is. Okay, this has a fantastic glide. We'll see what kind of coverage we come away with here though. Oh, and with the foundation, I forgot, I have a few new brushes that I'm trying from Real Techniques. They're like the Easy as 1, 2, 3 brushes, and this one says foundation, and it's pretty big, like it's fluffy, okay? And I have used it with that foundation, but I never felt like it was really dense enough to target in and give me some really good coverage. Like it's almost a little too powder brush-like, if you know what I mean, just a little too loose in the bristles. But I do have a blush contour type brush going forward that I'm going to use and talk about from that range. For now, I'm going to use their little highlighter brush that came from a duo, and we'll blend this in, this little stick concealer, which is a really good shade match. And we'll see how well that goes over some under eye darkness slash melasma. No complaints about the texture of this concealer though. It's very smooth, does not feel the least bit dry. It feels like the concealer I used to use from their brand. It does not really have a heavy look. I feel like maybe I'm still seeing a little darkness here around the inner part of the eye, but we'll go over it maybe one more time. See, that's all that foundation needed, was just a little concealer to help it out in a few key places. And now I'm feeling pretty good about the way that looks. I'm gonna have to watch how this concealer wears all day, but I feel like they basically re-released the same concealer, just in new packaging. As far as powder goes, I've got this from CoverGirl. It's the TruBlend Minerals in Banana. Now, I randomly got like a PR package that had a couple of powders from CoverGirl, and one is the translucent loose mineral powder. This TruBlend mineral powder has been around for a long time. I've tried it on, you know, several moments in its lifespan, and this translucent powder has like shimmer in it. It's not maybe what you're gonna want to put on your under eye area, maybe a light powder all over the skin, just general powder, maybe, but it's got an odd, very identifiable amount of sparkle in it. This, I can't really find as much sparkle in it. Maybe I've seen a couple like teeny tiny rogue pieces in this banana powder, but it seems to be a little more matte overall, but definitely yellowish. So I'm going to use some of this all over my face. I'm going to try even just a light bit of it on my under eye area. I don't think it's so dark that it's going to like darken me up there, but I need to be set, and we need to try to give this foundation its best chance at wearing well today. Had a great 5-year-old birthday party over the weekend for Miss Belle. It was so much fun. It was kind of a princess theme with a heavy Aladdin and Jasmine emphasis. She kicked off the day. She came down and she saw the princess tent that I had assembled in the living room. Bub helped me there at the end. If you saw my Instagram story, you know that was kind of a bear, but she was not expecting that at all. And then inside, I had one gift she could open at the start of the day, and it was a Jasmine costume, and she wore it all day and all day the next day, and I'm sure when she gets home from school today, she'll wear it all day today. It's Monday as I'm shooting this. Have I said that yet? So now I'm taking that same powder just with a bigger brush, my e.l.f. Complexion Brush, and again, really trying to set my skin all over today because I want to see if that has an impact on the foundation's staying power. But no, the party was fairly like small and low-key kind of family style party, you know, but we had a lot of cute little things, and I'm thinking about maybe just like, I don't know, putting together a blog post on it because I've had so many questions on Instagram asking like, where did this or that come from? And I thought maybe I could point that all out for you guys because I was thinking about vlogging it, but it ended up being kind of like vlogged on my Instagram story that day. That was just kind of the easier thing to do. And Pup was here and I really just wanted to spend time with her and not really take my time away by trying to catch every little thing on camera. You know how it is. So now we're set. The skin still honestly feels fairly dewy from that foundation, but maybe a little less so than earlier now that I've put this banana powder on all over, just really lightly, kind of trying to set things. Now I think we're gonna hop back to Physicians Formula, and they have really a wide variety of shades of this butter bronzer stuff. You guys probably know this by now. They've got the lighter shades, and I have been a big fan of the sculpting shade that I run into at Walmart. I think it's really like an effective contour, a really pretty tone, but in a package that was sent recently with a lot of other butter stuff, this shade was included, and it's called Endless Summer, and I was looking at it up side by side with the sculpting one, and you know what I noticed? They're not too far off in tone, but this one has more glow in it, and I was wearing it the other day. I thought it looked actually really beautiful, so I'm gonna pop that on today with my little e.l.f. complexion brush. What a great bronzer brush this is. Truly love it. I am officially 35 weeks pregnant as of today. So yay for that. I hit a place kind of midweek last week where I don't know if I tweaked something on my back. Label this part of the video pregnancy problems, but I was trying to put on my leggings one morning and I had all my weight on my right side and I kind of like was really working my body sideways to try to get the left leg up and in. And I knew something kind of funny happened in that moment, but I wasn't sure exactly what I did. And then by about the end of that day, I had some pretty painful like lower back feelings toward my right side. And I thought, well, that was the leggings. Just bronzing up here. See how it's like nice and deep enough to really do some mega bronzing if you wanted to, but the finish is just kind of like got a little glow, not too much. I'm not scared to try to contour with it or anything. But anyway, that lasted for like, I don't know, a day and a half. And it was just enough time for me to get on Amazon and get one of those, it's called a Nifty Nabber Reacher Grabber. It's like one of those things where like long arm little things with a clamp at the end. So you don't have to bend over as much because that was what was hurting me, was any form of bending. I'm like, this will be helpful. So I got that and got it in. And now I'm not having so much trouble in that respect anymore, but I do have the Nifty Nabber Reacher Grabber. So, I mean, in general, it's that time of pregnancy where your bump is so big that it is kind of a pain to bend around. Just regardless, you feel like you're squishing something in there. So it really will be nice not to bend over as much, but I don't have the lower back pain associated with it anymore, knock on wood. Speaking of knocking on wood, don't you love how one thing leads to another here? That is like probably one of my favorite 90s songs. It's from Mighty Mighty Boss Tones and they go, never had to knock on wood. Oh, if you know the song, you know the song. Like I'm trying to think what movie it came from because I'm pretty sure it was in a movie. Anytime I hear that, I'm always thinking like if I did sports, like this would be something I'd have in my headphones, like right before they get into the chorus and then you hear that electric guitarist going like, and then he's like, never. You know what I'm talking about? It's like a super happy, peppy, but like get your butt in gear kind of song. I think I need to listen to it before I go into labor. Maybe that's what I need. Who needs pump up jams more than a woman going into labor? Spent probably longer with that bronzer than we needed to, but I do feel gently bronzed and the surface of the skin still seems very natural. Like it does not look shimmery where I put the bronzer, but it maintained kind of a gentle glow. As I turn my head, I can see it. Blushes, oh, so many options, but I know I'm gonna need to use one of these. These are from that organic wear line from Physicians Formula. They've got this Dewy Blush Elixir. You know immediately where my mind went when I saw these, to the M Cosmetics serum blushes. Now, they're not exact dupes for one another. There are differences, which I'll explain, but we have two different tones. One is Pink Berry and one is Gorgeous Peach. And what direction are we even going with this look today? I think I'll go with the Gorgeous Peach. But the blush is gonna pump out, it's gonna be very liquidy, and it's not a stain. So that's a real similarity to the M Cosmetics, is that it's not like it hits your skin and there's a quick dry down and it's like a sheer stain. No, moisture is in this. The Organic Wear line is trying to sneak in moisture, I feel like, wherever they can. So you're gonna pump some out. The peachy shade is sort of neutrally looking, and it just has a feeling like there's some thickness and moisture, kind of similar to the M Cosmetics Serum blushes. However, I would say where they're different is that this ends up having even more moisture and a little less color. Like, it's not quite as much of a little goes a long way product like the M Cosmetics is, color-wise. Moisture-wise, I feel like this delivers a lot. Now I'm using the Real Techniques Easy as 123 blush brush here, which they say is for cream or powder. But to achieve color intensity that's more like the M Cosmetics, I feel like I have to put on a little more. But here's what you've got to be aware of with these blushes. They do carry a lot of moisture. See how I just put some on there, but it's still kind of, you know, sheer? It's pretty, it's just more sheer. And the more you put on, the more moisture you're also adding to the skin. And these can kind of take away some of your coverage, your underlying coverage, which, as you'll remember, was not very much with that Organic Wear foundation, okay? So it's like, how much are you willing to mess with what's underneath by building and building on your blush? Things to think about. My skin feels dewy. It has kind of a dewy look to it. There's no shimmer in this. Any kind of glow you're seeing is strictly from the texture of this product, which is, like I said, it's creamy. It's not gonna set real fast. Like, I could kind of rub and rub and rub on this. It's not like setting into the skin hardcore. It's staying with some definite moisture. I think dry skin might really go for it. But again, like, I'm thinking, okay, I started to cover up some melasma there, but now as I'm blending in this creamy as heck blush, I don't want to undo that. So I'm not going to build any more than that. Whereas with the M Cosmetics, I could have literally taken the applicator, gone dot, dot, and probably had enough of most of their shades, except for maybe the lightest one I would have added more. And those still have some moisture too in them. You know, they're not gonna set immediately or anything, but a little goes a long way with those color-wise. And I told you there was a lot of Physicians Formula in this video because we're keeping it rolling. We've got Organic Wear highlighter stick here. Dewy highlighter with the jojoba oil. There were a couple of colors to choose from. I believe I went for the one that was a little bit lighter. I thought it would be more vibrant looking on my skin, perhaps. There does not appear to be any glitter in this stick, so it's just kind of a shimmery stick highlight. So I'm going to give it like a few little flicks. Not concerned about this setting too quick. Everything got its moisture in this line. So I'm just going to dab it there, and then I think I'll go back with this brush, which is kind of a nice little multitasking brush, this Easy as 123. Use it with cream, use it with powder. But the bristles, there could have been more. I kind of have a similar concern to this. This face brush that they claim for foundation should have been a little more densely packed, maybe a few more bristles. This one also. I don't like it quite as well as my e.l.f. blush brush, but it does get the job done. So I'm just kind of dabbing it over what I streaked on there, making it look less like a streak and more like glowy highlight. You're getting the dewiness not only from the shimmer in the product, but by the fact that it's not a powder texture as well. I'm gonna add a little bit right up here, maybe just a hint down the nose. I've said this before, but it doesn't always make sense to only be dewy on your cheeks. It's like if you're going there, just fully commit. Had a tense night watching One Tree Hill last night. Not even gonna say what kind of drama we pushed through last night, but it's gonna be okay, I think. I don't wanna give too much away to those who are just starting to watch it like me. Here's the skin look, what do we think? I honestly wish you could reach out and touch my face right now because it does feel pretty dewy. And I think it's looking nice and fresh and lovely on camera and stuff, but I think it may be translating to a perhaps not so strong staying power situation throughout the day. For brows, I don't really have anything new, so I'm just going to be using my Maybelline Tattoo Studio today. just the little applicator, the little brush, double-ended thing that's included. I wear this in ash brown, pretty much my favorite drugstore brow thing right now. Outside of the Almay Brow Styler, which is a pretty brilliant gel to hold everything at the end. So I've been ordering some little holiday gift sets, makeup gift sets and palettes that are starting to come out. I'm really just gonna review what's interesting to me. I'm gonna tell you right now, the Tarte sets aren't all that interesting to me. I mean, there was one involving blush that I definitely had to get my hands on, but some of their palettes, I'm like, I'm just not doing it this year just for the sake of like, here's my review on Tarte stuff. I want to be drawn to it. There's so much that's going to be out. Let's be enthused, at least by what we think we see at the start. Let's feel drawn to it. But some random things from different brands that maybe I haven't reviewed a lot of holiday stuff from in the past. This brow seems a little aggressive today. This brow is still experiencing the leg cramp from earlier today. But no, I just feel like being a little more choosy about what I'm going to get. And I was really pleased with the look of the Too Faced stuff, just seeing it online, so I placed my order for quite a bit of that, which we all know it could be great, it could be meh. They have a lot of different offerings this time around. And I'll use a little bit of my Almay Brow Styler just to kind of make sure. This is my insurance. Make sure it stays in line. Then let's just get this out of the way. Milani eyeshadow primer. Oh, you get used so much. How many times have I said Milani eyeshadow primer in my videos? I got big plans for the eye look. I'm gonna hit you with something. You're gonna be like, wait, what? Yeah, I'm gonna say something here. You may not agree with me, but just to hear me out. I feel like this is actually a very earthy palette. This is from Profusion, it's called Sunkissed, and I saw it very recently in Walmart, and then the last time I went, I didn't see it anymore, but it is on Profusion's website. But here's what I think about this. I think these are like colors of nature, really, in their most beautiful state. When I see the beautiful fall sunsets this time of year, I see that orange and the blues mixing with purple and pink, like literally that whole range of what's happening here. And then the kind of grassy greens and your row of just straight up, like they just gave you a row here of just neutrals, just basic, here's what you need. There are 3 glitters in here. I have not played with the glitters yet, but I have done a really, I don't know, refreshing kind of fun green look with this the other day, and I want to play with some of these colors and do something a little outside the box. Just saying that makes me need a drink of coffee. But the textures in here are so nice. It's so pigmented. It's really pretty, and I do think it's a take on just earth tones, maybe, you know, enhanced or brightened up a little bit in some ways, but I also feel kind of fall as I look at this too, and I feel the changing colors, and I feel the look of the sky in the early morning or the late evening. It's actually like really exciting me. I think I want to start actually with this shade right in the crease. I hadn't played with that one yet. Yeah, just as I suspected, it looks a little deeper in the crease than it actually might even make you think it is in the pan. With just a little bit of some gentle rose coming up here, that can give me the contrast I want to begin with. The shades are so smooth and so easy to blend, and so what you see is what you get. I have been really impressed with what Profusion's putting out. Do most of you have this in your Walmart stores? It is on Walmart's website, and then, you know, it's on Profusion's website too. But it was, I guess, earlier in the year when my store started stocking it, and I was so excited to see that. A truly nice selection of affordable palettes. Then I'm gonna go over to this guy up here and just kind of smooth out everything, give myself a little light highlight. And then I think I want to take some blue to the crease. I think I want to go to this sort of like deepened periwinkle. Let's just see. It's got a little shimmer in it. It's kind of dusty, like in terms of the color tone. It's not super bright. It's got a little purple in it too. Can we see that? Can we see some blue coming out here? I can see it, but it's got this kind of, like I said, not pure color, sort of dustiness coming out of it. Let's also take this guy, just straight up matte light blue. And this is going to be inner part of the lid. It looks very opaque. See, yesterday I really went there with the greens. So today, trying to give you a little different idea just on color scheme. This shade is really intense here. Kind of a nice little raspberry color. And look at the intensity. I'm gonna pat that on my outer corner. Probably gonna need to do a little more blending where those two are overlapping, but that's so bold. How should we go over that? Maybe, I don't know, a little bit more of this. I'm tapping off just a little bit of excess here, but they're not getting like out of control powdery on me when I dip in. Trying to keep that blue alive there right next to the pink. It's kind of a fun little combo. And then I've got a sky blue with shimmer right up here. Palette's this big, it's hard to know if you're getting it in frame. Take that around the inner corner, perhaps, maybe a smaller brush. We're just playing. I don't know that I will turn out a particularly fall look or whatever today, but there's just a lot of general color to play with here. This does remind me though of the color of some sunsets that I've seen with like almost a pinkiness in the sky, and you see the blue. So pretty. There's not a lot of real, like, super deep darkness. I mean, we have some deeper colors down in here, but not like really, really dark. So that's kind of interesting. It keeps you in sort of a bright place with the look if you just stick to this palette, I guess. I think I'm going to use my crease brush, and again with the pink, get a little bit of that on there and take that more up into my crease so I have a little more brightness there. What about a little bit of this orange? And this has shimmer for sure, but a little bit of this orangey shade kind of emerging from the outside. Like, can you tell I really had no idea what I was going to do before I just started sticking my brush in colors this morning? And give it a little warmth. Ooh, this is fun. Really pretty twist on things. I'm applying that very liberally. Here, blend a little bit at the edge here. Oh, reinforce my pink just a little more because that got blended a little when I went to the crease. And then under the eye, let's go for a little bit of this color right here. It seems to have some shimmer, maybe not as much as some other shades in the palette. But ooh, that could be really pretty down there. And then if I want to lighten it up going inward, I could just layer it in with maybe like, I don't know, that shade or something. Feeling like an artist. Okay, yes, I'm going to the second blue in that row. Okay, very pretty. And that, my friends, is a little taste of what this Sunkissed palette can do. And for 13 bucks, I think the quality is so good. Now I think I'm gonna take a brighter blue liner to my lower inner rim today. This is the Revlon So Fierce. I feel like I've used this before in a video. Yeah, Royal Rules. I take a little bit of this to my lower waterline area, just to give me a little different feeling there. I may bring in a smudge brush and just kind of blend this in. See, here's my little E21 smudge brush. Now that I've gotten a little bit of that on my actual skin, I can blend it into some of the shadows that were there. You could do this before or after lower lash line shadow, but I just applied a little bit, and I think it's creating even more of a pop there. Boom. And then I think I'm just going to go across my upper lash line real quick here with my Revolution Renaissance Flick liner pen. And give myself a real clean black line today, so I have the option of maybe doing some lashes. Then I'm going to bring in my lash curler and get some curl going in these. But I would like to know, like, what is your favorite Profusion palette that you've tried? Is there a certain one that you've used that's really impressed you? Is it a smaller one? Is it one of these larger sized ones? They've got a lot of good things going on. They've got a nice all matte palette too, like a bigger one and then the smaller one that I know I've talked about in videos more. I also picked up this from the Organic Wear line. This is something like, their mascaras have been around in this line for some time. This is the Fake Out. It said false lash effect, so we'll see. I'm not sure if this product itself may or may not be new, but the packaging is in this very fresh white, like tipped in pink, similar to the other Organic Wear products. Not looking like any kind of false lash effect at this stage of the game. The bristles remind me a ton of like CoverGirl Lash Blast. Rubbery, but very, very short. The idea that this is a false lash effect is, I mean, it's just not dramatic at all. Now I know this is brand new and maybe I should give it a little bit more of a chance, give it a couple weeks, maybe I'll like it a little better then, but it's so like barely there with the lashes. It doesn't seem to be dropping my curl. That's probably because there's like hardly anything going on my lashes right now. Can I tell you guys something that absolutely did not work on my lower lashes the other day that I was testing? The Essence Lash Princess Waterproof. Oh man, it only took a couple hours and that was full on smudged under my eyes. Today I think I'm going to use a little bit of supersizer down there because I want a little something. You know, I've gone to the trouble to make my lower lash line full on blue, so let's put a little mascara on there, dress it up. And then I think I want to try another style of those Salon Perfect Brittany Bear lashes. I really like the style called Exotic. I was wearing that in a recent video. So I think I'm gonna pop those on and then join you back here for the lips, which I think is gonna be a lot of fun. Here we are with the finished eye look, and I took my hair down, tried to improve that situation a bit. But these lashes are in the style called Bearified. They're a real thick lash that gets a little bit longer toward the outsides. I had to trim them up just a little bit to fit my eye better. Glue may still be drying slightly, but here's the lip situation. The Physicians Formula Organic Wear line now has these tinted balms, tinted lip treatment they're saying, and there are 4 of them. One is colorless, I believe, and then these are the 3 with color. So I wanted to try them on for you and we can kind of see what might look best with this look. Also, while I was waiting to recharge my battery a little bit, I threw on a little extra blush because I just felt like things were lacking a little bit, and I used this shade called Copper Cabana. I had never heard of this color before from Physicians Formula, but it's got a little sheen and a little bit of warmth, and I kind of like that. But first off, we're going to use Tawny Nude, and I really like the texture of these. I first got the pink one, and then when I realized how much I enjoyed it, I went back and I got the other 2 colors. Again, Walmart's where I'm finding all this organic wear stuff. Okay, there's Tawny Nude. That's giving off a lot more color than I was expecting, actually. In comparison to the butter lipsticks, I think these are a little more lightweight in feel. There's still a nice amount of color intensity for a tinted lip balm here, but I feel like they're a little less strong compared to those. Here's the Tickled Pink shade going on. Hardly any scent on these, by the way. A teeny bit of vanilla maybe, but isn't that a cute shade? I like that color of pink. That was the first one I tried and I'm like, I need to get some more. And then lastly, I'll try on Gingersnap for you, although I might come back to the pink. We'll see. Here is Gingersnap. It seems to be the deepest. Ooh, that's some pretty warmth. Sort of playing off of the warmth that I put on my eyes at the end. Ooh, that's a fun one. Like Tawny Nude, but just a little bit deeper. Is there any shimmer in these? I don't really think so. I think they're just creamy. But even packaging wise, like there's a nice weight to these. While the cap is sort of traditional plastic, there's a little more weight in the bottom of it. I like them a lot. They're light yet pigmented in one swipe. They do feel really moisturizing and might be my favorite part of that whole organic wear line. So this is my finished look. What do we think, guys? I'm feeling good about the skin at this stage in the game. It just really does have such a dewy feel, and after wearing that foundation for a few days, I'm kind of realizing it can break down pretty quickly on me, and I have normal to dry skin. I do like the concept, and I really like the freshness of it though, and same with the blushes too. Like those are really fresh and beautiful and a neat texture. I think you just gotta watch yourself to not over apply if you don't want to sort of undo what you've done coverage wise at the start. I think I may have been wanting to put on a little bit more of that blush, but the texture is so dewy, it really can have an impact on coverage. Really impressed with the Profusion Sunkissed palette. I did a very different look the other day with some greens, and now here I am with kind of the blues and berry and a little splash of some orange. And I love these tinted lip balms. They really have kind of a lipstick vibe when it's all said and done, but just super approachable, easy colors. And it was kind of nice to run into this Almay concealer again. I gotta say, they made a great stick concealer, and I feel like it's the same thing that was in their Age Essentials line before. So thank you guys so much for taking time to watch. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you again very soon. Bye.